Oh man, I am in such a good fucking mood today because Dragon Ball Super isn't us to be. And okay, we're gonna save that for another video, right? I'm gonna save. It'll probably it's gonna be a fake reaction because like yeah, but well no, it's not. It won't be a. It's not gonna be okay. Fake is the wrong word, but let's just review this episode first, right? Then we can go to the next video. Oh man, I can't wait for that video. It actually kind of pains me that I have to do this review because it's just like I have to slog through this shit again, right? But fuck it. Sub count goes up. I still like Dragon Ball as a whole, even though Super fucking sucks as a show and as a manga. Even though the manga is probably marginally better. But, you know, here we are. So this is the whole Vegeta gets his new form episode. And good Lord Almighty, this is exactly the kind of episode which is this is the type of episode where it kind of encapsulates like everything wrong with Dragon Ball Super. Yeah. Well, actually, not everything wrong. I want yeah, kind of. But let's go like play by play, right? Let's go play by play. Okay, so where were we? Okay, yeah, here we are. Yeah, so Vegeta has just been knocked out by Jiren, right? So this what is this, episode 123? So one, there shouldn't be time wasted in an episode on Kai having to explain what Jiren meant, right? When he called Vegeta a warrior. So if you guys, so at the beginning of the episode, Jiren calls Vegeta a warrior, right? He goes like warrior, sleep. Now, one, this isn't really badass, right? Two, because one, this isn't really badass for the reason it's just for the reason that it's not badass. How many times have we seen Jiren doing the same thing, just crossing his arms and just yelling out like all like these fucking like savage ass burns? And for him to do it again here, like warrior sleep, is that like the fuck that's supposed to be a burn? You got, you know, like Hunter x Hunter, Hakusho, like Gintama, they all have like way better insults and shit like this, right? I expected something a little more, you know, warrior sleep. Anyway, so that's what Jiren says to Vegeta, right? And the thing about insults is that they'd be a lot more impactful if at least like the storytelling behind it was a little better. Not even a little better, if it was honestly like, because super storytelling is shit. But this was just like he turns his arms, looks forward and goes like warrior, sleep, as though he accomplished like some like fucking like incredible like great feat. You know, we already know Jiren's like massively stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta. You know, like warrior sleep is supposed to be like this incredible insult. Anyway, the problem here is that it's not so much that. The problem is that Kai has to actually take time from an episode, right? Kai being the Universe 11 Kaioshin, right? That's his name, Kai. He has to actually explain what Jiren meant, like, oh, he acknowledges Vegeta as a warrior. And this is, once again, goes to show that Atsuhiro Tomioka is proving himself to be the worst fucking writer on this show. Not only does this use time that could be used on more productive things, right? But it isn't even a line of dialogue that needs that sort of like embellishment, or it's not even like this incredible line of dialogue that needs explaining. Remember on Twitter, I shared that panel in the Namek arc of Ginyu explaining what Jace said, right? There was this joke, I forget what the exact line was, but the Ginyu Force, like when they showed up to fight Goku, not Goku, so what am I saying? Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta, like when they were hiding the Dragon Balls and stuff. There was a scene where Jace, or Ginyu, one of them made a joke, and then Jace explained it, and then Ginyu scolded Jace for saying, like, did you really have to explain that? And that's exactly the case. Like, this is, as we all know, like, this is a big problem in Super, where they have the need to, like, they need to like directly and what's the word, what's the correct phrase, they have the need to like directly explain what someone means when they say something, right? Not even when they say something, when they do something, like Goku's smiling, you're like, oh my god, he's smiling, oh my god, Hit's warrior spirit has been awakened. You know, it's just commentary 24/7, and it's fucking bullshit. There's no need for that. You know, there's such a thing as non-discrete storytelling, and obviously Super doesn't get that shit, which is one of the reasons why it sucks. Anyway, Zeno imitating Jiren. That was actually I like that. That was actually tight as fuck, right? See, even I can like Super. Not. I mean, if you've been watching my episode reviews, rants really, and reviews, you guys shouldn't be surprised at the fact that yeah, there's a couple things here and there that I do like about an episode, even though the episode 10 ends up as a whole being shit. And this is one of those times. Zeno imitating Jiren, that was tight as fuck, right? And because him actually saying warrior sleep, right, imitating that was actually better than the line itself, right? I wish their dialogue, obviously I wish Zeno's dialogue was more different than just Sugoi and then them repeating each other's words over and over again in like this excited voice. I actually wish that there was some sort of like some dialogue there that revealed like some sort of like emotional, not even emotional side. I just wanted more. I just wanted to see more sides to Zeno's character, considering that he or she, whatever he is, I guess, is basically like the strongest character in the entire series, and all we see is just like this childlike person, you know. And obviously, Super has that problem. Like it's like I've said before, it's the one note, one trait characters, right? Beerus and Whis being reduced to food caricature characters, right? Like that's what I'm talking about. Toppo with his justice, over and over again, right? But anyway, I like that moment, Zeno imitating Jiren. Dispo not damaging Frieza at all, and here we go with the power scaling. It makes little sense considering how his fight with Hit went. And apparently, like supposedly, in the new chapter that dropped, Frieza got stronger from image training. Which, like, goodness me, can you just imagine someone getting stronger by not actually doing any training, just thinking what they're doing? Could you imagine, like, someone getting that much strong from just fucking image training? Image training is how their ki was raised, right? It's not like Goku and Gohan, like, they needed to hit each other in the Cell arc, or Vegeta and Trunks needed to do that. All they needed to do was fucking image training, right? All they needed to do was sit around and just meditate and think of things. They don't actually need to throw punches and kicks. All they need to do is do fucking image training, and somehow they'll be able to unlock Super Saiyan stages 2, 3, and 4 and fight Cell. It obviously, like, if you guys can't tell, I'm mocking this. This is bad writing, image training. Anyway, not so much, well, the image training, but this one not damaging Frieza at all. But again, it's fucking stupid, right? 17 and Gohan are fighting Toppo, and then 17 says like this really dumb line of dialogue. He says, "Stop trying to coordinate with me," to Gohan, because they've never fought together. This show is so ass. Gohan did just that with Frieza against Frost. Gohan fought with Frieza against Frost, right? And 17 says, "Stop trying to coordinate with me," to Gohan because they've never fought together against Toppo? Goku and Piccolo never fought together, yet they did the same against Raditz. Gohan himself did it with others during the Saiyan and the Namek arcs, whether it was Piccolo and Krillin, or Tien and Yamcha against Nappa, even though he himself actually never threw an attack. But the point is that these characters had never fought together, and they were still successful. So this whole line of "stop trying to coordinate with me" because they've never fought together is, once again, going to show that Atsuhiro Tomioka is a fucking retard, at least when it comes to Dragon Ball, right? Gohan stopping the Kamehameha is so awkward. So this is something also, right? 17, his plan is to like encapsulate Toppo in his once again overly abused barrier technique. It's been used more times in Super than it has in fucking Dragon Ball Z. It's just incredible to think like that, you know. But yeah, so his plan is to encapsulate himself and Toppo in the barrier. And then Gohan is going to use the Kamehameha to push them off the ring, right? Now, 17, he actually has to remove the barrier because Toppo like breaks his arm, or like arm bars his arm or something like, not arm bars. Arm bars isn't the right word, but arm locks his arm. Something, right? He uses some sort of grapple technique, and the barrier comes off. Gohan stops the Kamehameha for some reason. Like, why? Why? Your end goal is to push 17 and Toppo off the fucking stage. Why would you do that because the barrier is gone? You're afraid you're going to hurt your teammate? Your teammate is going... Dude, your universe is going to be erased. 17 isn't some pussy that needs to be, like, pampered with because he got a little hurt from a friend's attack. Your end goal is to remove Toppo from the ring. And you're supposed to be in ultimate form. It's not even like your Kid Gohan self, where you're like afraid of hurting people, or Super Saiyan Gohan during the Cell games, where you were afraid of hurting people and afraid of killing him. You are your ultimate self. You were so dead set on killing fucking Boo back in the Boo arc. You were so confident against Gotenks Boo in the Boo arc. And here you are now, you're stopping the Kamehameha because the barrier's off. Shit writing. Shit writing. Shit writing. I'm going to go off on a tangent here, but I'm sick and tired of everyone saying that what I'm saying, just because I don't like it, it's not shitty. I'm going to call out some people in the on Twitter in the next video. But yeah, I won't go that route. I'll do that in the next video. Anyway. Then there's this real, oh my god. Then we get to the some fucking retarded ass bullshit with Goku versus Jiren. Goku, oh my god. I don't know who says it. I think it's Tien. He says long range attacks don't mean shit against Jiren. I thought I was going to get brain cancer when I read this. Do I even have to explain why that line of dialogue is bullshit? Since whenever in Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, when has an attack ever been more effective because of its fucking range? I mean, yeah, the instant transmission Kamehameha is maybe the only exception. But long-range attacks as opposed to close-range attacks? The distinction here is obviously Ki Blast versus physical attacks. If we take this BS logic by Dragon Ball standards into play, right? Because obviously range and attacks mean something more like in Yu Yu Hakusho, not Yu Yu Hakusho, what am I saying? Hunter x Hunter, or Naruto, or, One Piece, something like that. But in Dragon Ball, where people move at the fucking speed of light, where you can destroy planets with like 2 of your fingers, range of your attacks is supposed to mean shit? If we take this BS logic, right, into play, Vegeta himself has an effect on Jiren because of his Ki Blast later in the episode. A long-range attack that Vegeta uses has some sort of an effect on Jiren. Maybe it doesn't damage him a whole fucking lot, but it has an effect because it's a long-range Ki Blast. Seriously, towards the end of this episode, when Vegeta and Goku start fighting Jiren together, Vegeta actually gets some sort of not fucking like increasingly like super powerful damaging attack on Jiren, but he uses a Ki Blast that has some sort of like that forces Jiren to like guard at least, right? So right there, we have an example of a long range fucking attack working on Jiren. This motherfucker Goku and this motherfucker Vegeta used the fucking spirit, the Genki Dama, and the Final Flash on Jiren, thinking that it would have an effect. How the fuck are regular punches and kicks supposed to have much more of an effect on Jiren than fucking Ki Blasts that are capable of destroying the entire planets? Do I even need to explain like why a punch and a kick is not going to be more or less effective, or it should be less effective than a Genki Dama? Actually, no, not even a Genki Dama, considering that Jiren is a good guy. At least the Final Flash. At least the Final Flash. Seriously, Yatsuhiro Tomioka. Goku going in close range, punching and kicking, is supposed to be more effective than the fucking Final Flash that Vegeta uses. Not even Goku at Super Saiyan like Blue with the Kaioken times 10 or Ultra you know what I mean? Well, actually, no, Ultra Instinct is like, but still, it's so dumb. Can you imagine like Goku versus Vegeta? Back in the Saiyan arc, a punch by Goku is supposed to have more effect than his Kaioken times 4 Kamehameha because it's long range. Goku versus Cell, his spinning kick against Cell is supposed to be more effective than his instant transmission Kamehameha. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, his punches and kicks are more effective than his final Kamehameha against Cell. Boo, right? You have I don't know, Gotenks, right? I'm just saying random characters. Punches and kicks are supposed to be more effective than his volleyball fist. Well, actually, no, the volleyball fist is kind of like a fusion of a melee ki attack because he actually uses ki rings and makes him into a volleyball and spikes him. But the point is, this line of logic, this literal line of dialogue is fucking stupid. Atsuhiro Tomioka, like this is honestly like brain cancer. But the brain cancer continues. The cancer continues. Goku starts to use landmines. God, this show is fucking AIDS. Goku uses landmines to create an opening, right? He wants to create an opening to defeat Jiren. Well, yeah, to defeat Jiren or to harm Jiren, right? But why do you want to use landmines for that? If you're, oh my goodness, this is exactly like why I say like tactics, like all these Hunter x Hunter, One Piece, Naruto like tactics, they don't work in Dragon Ball because these characters are already so destructive and strong and fast enough that these kind of tactics, they don't mean shit. You want to create an opening with fucking landmines? Why don't you just use a more straightforward attack? Why is it a tactic anyway? Why is this a tactic anyway? And this is the other thing. How is a landmine considered close range, right? When there were several landmines away from Jiren. Away from Jiren. Jiren, this dude Goku makes landmines around Jiren, right? And it's not like he litters the field with fucking landmines. Literally, there's... I remember, like, I paused the episode. I think it was... I can't even remember the timestamp. What today is Thursday, right? And this aired, like, almost, like, a week ago. No, actually, no, not a week ago. More like 5 days ago, alright? So I don't remember the timestamp. But I literally remember I paused the episode, and I could only see 7 of these little sparkles. Only 7, right? Some of them far away from Jiren. At least, like, I mean, there's no way for me to tell, obviously, but I'm a guesstimate, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 feet away from him. So these aren't even fucking close range attacks. How is this considered a close range attack? And it's like, this man Jiren has no eyes. He looks forward, and then he steps on the landmine, and that's it. He could have easily stepped around all of them. So he says something about like long range versus short range attacks, right? Then somehow Goku using a landmine that's I guess somewhat close to him, and then exploding that it's supposed to be an attack that creates an opening somehow. I don't know how that creates an opening, considering it did nothing to Jiren. It didn't harm him. It didn't distract him. It didn't like take away his attention. It didn't do anything like that. Now, granted, Jiren does jump. So Jiren does jump, but still, he's on guard. He's on guard. He hasn't created an opening in his fighting at all. And the other thing that's annoying me now is, like, how many times are we going to see Goku spit out phlegm every time he's, like, punched or kicked hard in the gut? It happened with Goku versus Frieza back in the Resurrection F arc. It happened with Jiren punching Goku in the gut when they first fought. It happened in the last episode when he kicked him. It happened in this episode. It's just, like, this repeated use of, like, of this scene. Or not a scene. Scene's not the right word. But this repeated motion of having Goku go, like, and then spit out phlegm and like, saliva. Every time he's punched or kicked hard in the gut. Every time. This is the thing, like, and I've always complained validly about repetition in Super. When you repeat something over and over again, it loses its fucking value and charm. Right? Like, seeing Goku, or not just Goku, any character, like, just, like, fucking, like, struggle like this, right? You feel pain, provided you animate it properly, which, you know, the animation and the art has been pretty good, I would say, so far in Super. The actual writing, obviously not so much, but something loses its edge if it's reused over and over. Then, you know, Kienzen Hexablade is done for obvious reasons, but just in case, let me spell it out, like, why. Krillin used the same techniques against Frieza, right? Like when he split his Kienzan into like many Kienzan back in the Namek arc. It was like when he cut his tail, or I don't think it was exactly it wasn't exactly at the moment. He cuts Frieza's tail because he uses like a stealth attack, right? Like he's hiding his ki and he uses a stealth attack. But he then tried. I remember, at least in the anime, I remember he used something like the Kienzan Hexablade. But the reason this is dumb. The point is that we have another needlessly named video game attack, right? And I've already explained like why this is like bullshit. I've already explained like why this is stupid, because this is exactly what makes like this is what's making it too like similar to modern shonen, right? And I've said this before. Dragon Ball was unique, at least in my opinion, in the sense that while yeah it had big ki attacks and martial arts and all this stuff, right? It didn't really have a whole lot of named attacks, right? It didn't have a whole lot. It wasn't like Naruto or One Piece or Fairy Tail or Maybe I would throw, maybe Hunter x Hunter I would throw in there. I assume Boku no Hero is the same way. Like all Toriko, like all these different fucking shonen where every single attack was named. You could just throw out a generic ki blast and be fine with it. You know? You didn't have to name like every fucking attack, and now we have Kienzan Hexablade. Now, I don't think this is going to be used at all in the manga, which goes to show that it's probably most likely, in fact, I would be willing to bet 100% that it's an anime-only thing. But still, the thing is, like, even though the Kienzan Hexablade stuff is dumb, the tactic in itself is fine. I actually like the tactic because what it did was that it made Jiren, like, it pushed him on a cliff that was over the edge. That was over the edge of the ring, right? And then Goku used the Kienzan, right, to fucking cut the cliff to make him fall. Now, obviously, like, this works because, one, there's no flying, even though the no flying rule has been broken multiple times already in the tournament. But for the sake of consistency, let's, you know, or of trying to be consistent at least, let's assume, like, okay, the writers remembered that you're not allowed to fly in the tournament, right? So, if we ignore all the times that it's been broken in the tournament, right? Jiren falling off a cliff, the tactic is actually fine. It's good. The tactic in itself is good. It's good that Goku got Jiren on a cliff over the side of the ring and then used the Kienzan to make him fall, right? So the tactic in itself was fine. I didn't have a problem with that. But like I said, what I did have a problem with was fucking landmines and Kienzan Hexablade being named and, you know, long range versus short range attacks and all this kind of stupid bullshit. But at last, you know, this is Dragon Ball Super, so we must fall back into deep pits of shit once again. Jiren somehow circumvents this, or, is circumvents the right word? Yeah. Or Jiren somehow, does not fall out of the ring because he jumps off of a rock that is smaller than his foot to save himself. This was the dumbest fucking scene. Like, I'm speaking like in very like general like layman terms, but good. So I don't. It's not so much that I actually believe like if I were to compare like this was the dumbest scene, but this was really fucking dumb. Jiren is falling, and then there's this rock, right? It's like the size of this fucking glass, right? And remind you, Jiren's a big ass dude, right? Right? I'd imagine like this rock is no bigger than the glass in my fucking hand. Jiren powers up, red aura and everything, and then jumps off of this rock, right? And then skip jumps between several other floating pieces of debris to jump back onto the fucking ring. Do I even need to explain like why that is bullshit, right? I always ask this question, like it just boggles my mind that I have to explain like why all this shit is bullshit. There's a rock that is smaller than him, right? Right? And it's not even so much that the rock is smaller than him. It's just the fact that he had to fucking power up. He was powering up like he was like Goku going Super Saiyan or Piccolo powering up or Gohan powering up or whoever. He powers up and then jumps off of the rock to save himself? What the fuck is that? Seriously, what the fuck is that? Why didn't anyone else try this when there was floating debris around them? Why did 18 do this when she saved 17? Why didn't fucking Tien do this when he took care of Hermela? When only 3 of his clones were bringing him down? What the fuck? Cauliflower or Kefla, however you, I'm going to say Kefla, you know, even though it's spelled with an A because that's how the characters in the show say it. Kefla I can understand because she was being pushed back by a Kamehameha, and yeah, I understand that, but floating debris jumping off of it to get back onto the fucking ring? Seriously, bruh? And then we get to like some real stupid aneurysm-inducing shit. Atsuhiro Tomioka, you literally like there. I don't know if someone has has ransom on your family or something, but this next part was, oh my god, I couldn't believe this. So let's go back to the landmines part, right? So Goku was using landmines to create an opening, right? To defeat Jiren, okay? So, Goku uses the landmines, right? To then use the Kiens on Hexablade to make him fall off. So, once Jiren falls off and before he jumps, right? Before he jumps back onto the ring, or right at the moment when he jumps right back onto the ring, Goku is there talking with Vegeta. And Vegeta says, Jiren is not someone who will be defeated by the Kienzan, right? Or by like being by his space of rock, his space of solid ground being cut off by the Kienzan, right? He's not someone that's going to be defeated like that. And Goku says, I know, right? So naturally, Goku used the landmines and the Kienzan Hexablade, cutting Jiren's space off, or cutting Jiren's ground off, right? He used those two things to create his way of defeating Jiren. And what was combining these two things, right? What was Goku's third final strategy? Using more fucking landmines. Atsuhiro Tomioka, you are literally stupid, man. I'm sorry, like, what the fuck do I care? No one's good. He's not gonna watch this fucking review, right? Or at least I hope he does. So at least like this sort of mistake won't be repeated again, right? This man used landmines, right? Which were just like a diversionary attack to create an opening. And somehow that opening was Jiren jumping and he lands on like ground or some bullshit, right? Then Goku actually uses a solid tactic, in my opinion, which is to use the Kienzan to cut off Jiren's ground, which was fine in my opinion because he was over the edge and no flying is around, even though that rule has been broken multiple times, right? Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. But then these two things lead to Goku's coup de grace, having him use more fucking landmines? This man thought Goku using landmines would beat Jiren after he recovers from jumping, despite saying that these said fucking landmines are going to be used to just create an opening, not to like fucking defeat him once and for all, or to inflict some sort of like incredible like damage on him, or you know, some shit like that. Landmines, somehow making him fall off the ring of the outer boundary of the ring. More landmines. More landmines is Atsuhiro Tomioka's fucking grand coup de grace master strategy for Goku defeating Jiren. Fuck that shit. Like, seriously, like, it just makes me so mad that, like, this franchise that I sincerely, truly, passionately love, you know? Videos that I've made trying to dispel all these sorts of, like, myths and stigmas and all these memes, right? And trying to, like, educate. And I'm not trying to, like, posit myself as like, some sort of, like, savior be-all, or, like, I'm the ultimate Dragon Ball fan or anything like that. But it's just so aggravating and frustrating for me to see this shit. Landmines. Landmines. It really... I mean, like... This is what people know me for on YouTube, right? This is, like, why I got into live streams with, like, King of Lightning and Zoro Fanboy, and why, like, people at least are willing... I mean, they may not agree with me, fine, right? And we can have, like, an argument and a discussion about those things. But it's shit like this, which just... I cannot stand. I get so frustrated, angry, sad, depressed at, like, what this franchise has fucking become. Landmines. The final fucking strategy was to use something that you knew wouldn't cause any massive damage to Jiren, and then use what you knew wouldn't cause any massive damage to Jiren to actually... now you think that's actually going to cause fucking massive damage to Jiren? You use landmines, which are just supposed to create some sort of, like, fucking opening in his stance or whatever bullshit Super is trying to posit at the time. And then that's how you're going to beat him? More fucking landmines? Then Jiren has, like, this punch, which reminds me of you guys have watched G Gundam, Burning Gundams, Oh, is it Shining Gundam or Burning Gundam? Yeah, no, it was Burning Gundam. It was the Heat End attack, right? That Burning Gundam had. Jiren has this punch that really reminds me of like the Heat End attack of Burning Gundam, God Gundam, I should say, if you go by the sub in G Gundam, right? This punch shocking Goku makes no sense. The attack in itself isn't very impressive in terms of its destructive capability, right? This man, Goku, gets shocked in awe after this punch crumbles a couple of cliffs and mountains. And apparently, Jiren is somehow now using like his true power, right? He wasn't using his true power against Ultra Instinct Goku, but somehow Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta have somehow pushed him while both are exhausted and beat up. Well, at least now Vegeta's exhausted and beat up. Somehow both of them have made him use his real power, right? He's using his real strength now against an exhausted Goku and Vegeta, whereas he didn't do that in the previous episode or the episode 13 episodes or the one 13 episodes ago when Goku went Ultra Instinct, or even in the previous episode when Vegeta was making him sweat with effort. He wasn't using his real strength now, but now he is. He's using fucking heat and punches. Super Saiyan Bluer, right? Vegeta's new transformation, the end all be all. I've already explained like why this is fucking retarded. Why this is fucking retarded. If you guys want to know why, you guys can go ahead and watch my other review, or my previous episode review, which was what 122, I think, episode 122, 121, whichever one it was that Vegeta gets wrecked at the end after using the final flash, right? Super Saiyan Bluer. I've already explained like and you know, fans are just gonna be like, oh, this is so cool, like this makes perfect sense, like it's fucking like mastered Super Saiyan Blue or whatever. So yeah, that's fucking retarded for obvious reasons. Ultimate Battle is playing yet again. I've already said why this is shit too, because you reuse. Imagine if you reuse like Battle Point Unlimited. You know, when Trunks transformed into a Super Saiyan against Frieza, or Unmei no Unmei when Gohan went Super Saiyan 2 against Cell. Imagine if you reused insert songs like that over and over again. The specialness of that song would be completely lost, and unfortunately that's what's happening here. I mean, you guys already know how I feel about it. The song in itself isn't even really that good, at least in my opinion. I know other people might not feel, and you know, music is all subjective. So I'm not trying to like, you know, force that opinion on anyone. You know, it's all subjective at the end. Excuse me, but yeah. So I think it's a shit song, and that in itself lends itself, you know, being used over and over and fucking over again for like the smallest of things. It's just it's so inappropriate, and it loses like the specialness of the song. Imagine if Ultimate Battle had only been used when Goku went Ultra Instinct against Jiren. You know. That it would have made that moment, like that song, that moment would have been all that much more poignant. Oh, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about the episode, right? This was the moment that made me want to go like through my fucking computer screen, right? Go a combination of Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, all these different Saiyan transformations. I just wanted to fucking like yell and like expel Ki and like destroy like entire planets and shit at this moment. This stupid motherfucker Atsuhiro Tomioka has Tien say the line. He's shocked that Goku and Vegeta are working together. Why the fuck is it so shocked? I mean, look, since Resurrection F, which is completely, you know, which is the worst arc, not only in Super, but in all of Dragon Ball in general, right? Probably the worst. God. It regressed them to like being like Goku and Vegeta don't work together, right? They don't work together. When clearly everything in the Buu arc, right? Even if they don't fuse together, right? They still work together to like beat people up, right? They worked together when Vegeta offered for Goku to not only build his ki and his stamina as a Super Saiyan 3 to supposedly kill Kid Buu, but even to come up with the idea of the Genki Dama, right? These motherfuckers work together, right? So, Super, since Resurrection F, it's like Goku and Vegeta don't work together. But you want to know why this is even more, like, fucking stupid? Like, Atsuhiro's Tomioka's, like, smoking, like, fucking butt hash. He's a fucking stoner or some shit, right? Like, doing, like, Molly and LSD and all these stupid-ass drugs and shit, right? Like, he's getting, like, raped in the butt or something, right? Goku and Vegeta work together against fucking Zamasu in the last arc. What would compel why would you spend even 5 to 10 seconds of an episode saying why Goku and Vegeta, like, you're so shocked that you're working together? Someone shoot this fucking stoner. You know? And yet again, we have more crowd reaction shots of Krillin and Beerus and Piccolo and 18 after just 2 minutes of action be like, oh yeah, they're pushing Jiren back. Oh yeah, like, this is happening. Oh, Lord have mercy on my soul. Lord have mercy on my soul. Lord have mercy on my soul. But we actually get to some good news now. See, this is 35 minutes, but this next episode I'm so excited to talk about, right? I actually forgot to say, like, I actually paused Blade Runner 2049 to make this video because I can finally now have the time to make it. Oh, God. Yeah, but basically, fuck this episode. This episode was trash, with the exception of the Zeno shit and Goku's Kienzan tactic, which ultimately amounted to shit. You know? Bullshit writing, nonsensical writing, garbage writing. But, yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, now we get to talk about an episode where I can be at least way more full of happiness and mirth, because I can finally talk about Dragon Ball Super ending. Okay, anyway, I'll see you guys in that video, hopefully. Thank you guys for watching.